Yo, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to What's the 411 with Jay. We just finished a stream up over on the Nashville school shooting. So sorry. Music scared you. Is it loud? All right. I will be back on camera in just a second. But who you see at the top of your screen are the two characters that we're going to be talking about today. These are two of the 7 eBay employees who stalked, harassed, followed, threatened this couple. So, yes, I wanted to introduce you to the two clowns who actually got prison time for this. So welcome back to chat. Let's give it a few minutes and see who else wanders on in here. Is Punani here still or no? You were zoning out. I do that all the time. And you're like, we're all on edge. No being on edge allowed. But how about if we do this? We are going to pull up our movie. We have a movie to watch. Jay put together some clips of a movie.
Tell me what happened when you opened your email on the morning of August 8th.
Well, we were getting bombarded.
My kids used to call it the movies. But I can't do it like that because I can't hear it. So you're just going to have to bear with me a sec. Like you guys don't bear with me every day in my pathetic streams. Just kidding. Here we go. My streams aren't pathetic. My streams rock. And if you're a member here, you are a rockin' bitch or dude. I don't even know where that came from. Cut her mic. This is the couple here that... Okay, so here's the deal. Look at his face. So these two had a website, okay, where she was the editor. It was like a newsletter type thing. And what they did was they would guide people on how to utilize eBay. Now, I haven't dug into exactly what their website entailed, but obviously eBay wasn't digging it because these two schmucks did a lot of bad shit. So let's listen to this first clip.
Tell me what happened when you opened your email on the morning of August 8th.
Well, we were getting bombarded with sign-ups to crazy newsletters.
Newsletters the Steiners never signed up for. Sin City Fetish Night, the Satanic Temple, the Communist Party, and dozens of others.
Then somebody started harassing us on Twitter through direct messages.
What were you seeing on Twitter?
Threats.
It was basically,
He's like,
shut
threats.
up or else.
Shut up or else. He's like straight up threats. When you start to resemble your spouse.
And it was as blatant as that.
Hey, Lex.
But much more threatening than that, and so vulgar, we can't show you many of the messages. 3 days later, the Steiners got a strange call.
Somebody left a voicemail for us saying they couldn't fulfill the order for a wet specimen. And David was the one who called, and he said, "What is a wet specimen?" And it was a pig fetus.
Like, okay, so wait, let's unpack what we've heard so far. Let's unpack this. A pig fetus. How do you send me a message? You can email me. You can email jisforjustice@gmail.com. Shell, you can put up, there's socials I made, and hi and bye when we sign off, and you'll see what they say. It's a surprise. So they started out getting messages on Twitter stop or else. So I don't really know what the hell they were doing, but we'll get into that when we get into these guys going to court and stuff. So let's listen a little bit more.
That's when my heart sank, because I thought, who might be angry at something I wrote? After the police officer took the report, he stepped outside and said, "There's a package here." So he waited. And when I opened up the package, it looked like flesh and hair. And I kind of yelled or shrieked.
It was a pig mask from the horror movie Saw.
Yo, a pig mask from the horror. Would you be horrified? I mean, I don't know what these people did, but for eBay execs to do this shit, and they were convicted of it. They were convicted of it. This is real.
The plot involves a psychopath who tortures his victims. The last thing they see is the mask.
I imagine.
What are they going to do next?
Over the next week, someone sent boxes of live cockroaches and spiders to the Steiners. Pornography was sent to their neighbors, but addressed to David.
They sent porn to the neighbor in his name. This is terrifying.
On social media, the Steiners' home was listed as the site of yard sales and sex parties.
What?
And then this book about surviving the loss of a spouse, addressed to David, arrived at the Steiners' doorstep.
Okay. This is where I would just have to have had it. What in the hell? Yard sales? Sex parties? Then you get a book addressed to you on surviving the loss of your spouse? I would go into hiding. You would never see me again. I'd be so scared.
It was a death threat. And to be followed up a few short days later with a funeral wreath, an expensive funeral wreath, it only confirmed.
After David noticed a van and later a car following him.
Okay, so then they weren't popular, folks. Then they got a funeral wreath. You know, the ones on the stand? So she got the book, or he got the book, rather. It was addressed to him, meaning you're going to be mourning your spouse, I guess. And then... he's being followed. So this is what breaks the whole case right here. Shell, welcome to Lounger. Thank you.
He was terrified, but managed to get a photo of the license plate. That broke open the case.
I'm a guy who likes to dig up things. I sometimes don't get the end result, and that's why I rely on smart guys like this.
Yeah, well, you should rely on us sleuthers, baby, because we do it too, Mr. Bushy Eyebrows.
Natick Detective John Haswell was working the case with Sergeant Jason Sutherland. He ran the license plate of the car that had been following David.
And it came back to a rental agency, and I contacted the rental agency and got the name of the renter, Veronica Zay. I didn't know Mrs. Steiner did her own little search and said, oh my God, she works for eBay.
Okay, so Mrs. Steiner was a sleuther, and she's the one that uncovered this chick that's doing this works for eBay. Sounds like Miss Steiner got a been verified subscription.
I don't know. I can't describe how flabbergasted we were. eBay? I mean, what was an eBay employee doing in a rental van following David? Did she
It blew our minds.
send all these things? Was it eBay that did this to us?
Sergeant Sutherland tracked Veronica Zay's rental car to the Boston Ritz-Carlton and called her from the lobby.
And I fully expected her to come down and say, hand me a business card and say, I'm from eBay and we're doing an investigation. And yeah, I drove by the house. We called up to the room and she said she'd be down after she had a conference call. She never showed up.
Zay
She never showed up. This is the chick. I would be scared. I would be so scared. This chick is the one. So the cops go to talk to her and they're like, she's like, I'm on a conference call. I'll be right down after. she took off. She never showed up. Who is this person? Who does that?
Left town without talking to police, but Detective Haswell had been chasing down another lead. He learned the funeral wreath sent to the Steiners was bought with a gift card from a grocery store in Silicon Valley, not far from eBay headquarters.
Knowingly joining a criminal conspiracy to cyber stalk a couple in Natick. People use loose talk like that all the time.
So this guy was defending it. So do you guys think that this is in any way, shape, or form okay? Like, he's just saying, oh, people make comments and do things to people all the time. We should just accept it. Now, listen to the husband's response.
Let me ask, if you have a dog that is trained to attack, and then you give them the command, take her down, aren't you as responsible for the damage that happened?
All right, so that's the end of my clips. But what do you think of that? Do you think that if like someone at eBay said, hey, this lady's like doing some shit and putting this stuff in her newsletter that is hurting our company in some way, shape, or form, yeah, whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. Now listen to this shit. It gets weirder. These two guys, James Baugh, let me get their pictures back up. Baugh. What a name. James Baugh. Yeah, they had a lot of time on their hands, I guess. Or they got paid a lot of money to do it. These are two of the clowns right here. Douchebags. Okay, so listen to this. James Baugh and David Harville. This all happened in 2019, and they were charged with cyber stalking. So I'm going to read this article so that you can get some background on what happened before and what the newsletter is about. Two former eBay executives were given prison time for their involvement in a cyber stalking scheme that targeted a couple behind an e-commerce blog that was perceived as critical of the company. Critical of the company. How dare us? We are the land of the free, the home of the brave. James Baugh, eBay's former senior director of safety and security, was sentenced to almost 5 years in prison. And the eBay's former director of global resiliency, David Harville, was given 2 years behind bars. They both pled guilty in the case. Baugh, Harville, and a number of other eBay executives in 2019 hatched a campaign to harass Ina and David Steiner, the editor and publisher of E-Commerce Bytes, a website closely followed by online sellers. Prosecutors said the executives went after the couple after former eBay CEO Devin Wenig and other leaders inside the company were enraged by their coverage of the company. What unfolded was a bizarre and convoluted 3-part harassment campaign that was intended to intimidate the Steiners and influence their reporting on the company. eBay execs repeatedly sent the couple harassing and threatening messages on Twitter. The campaign escalated further when the Steiners began to receive disturbing deliveries, including a book on surviving the death of a spouse, a pig mask, a fetal pig, a funeral wreath, and live cockroaches. Additionally, Craigslist posts appeared online inviting strangers to experience sexual encounters at the victim's home. Baugh, Harville, and others traveled from California. This is where it gets scary. They traveled from California to the Steiners' home to surveil the couple. They hoped to install a GPS tracker on the couple's vehicle, but the garage was locked, so Harville purchased tools to break in. 5 other employees pled guilty to a conspiracy in the matter. And here is what U.S. Attorney Rachel Rollins said. The defendant's toxic brand of online and real-world harassment, threats, and stalking was outrageous, cruel, and defies any explanation. All the more because these men were seasoned and highly paid security executives backed by the resources of a Fortune 500 corp. Their behavior was reprehensible. An eBay spokesperson didn't respond for comment, and Ina Steiner did not reach out to NBC when they asked. But a spokesperson for Weinig, who was the CEO, said an independent investigation has shown the former eBay CEO had no knowledge of the campaign. And they said Devin never told anyone to do anything unethical or illegal. And if he had known about it, he would have stopped it. Well, he resigned as CEO in 2019, and he was not named on the case. But the Steiners have filed a separate lawsuit against eBay, Weinig, and former senior vice president Steve Weimer. And that case is pending. So Ina Steiner said, we believe everyone who played a role should be held accountable. And that is how big corporate money handles the little guys with the blogs. What the hell? What do you guys think of this crap? Here's a transcript. Let me pull this up on the screen so you can see it. These guys are dicks. So if they spent the correct amount of time, that means one of them is still in prison. And why do I doubt that? Why do I have a feeling that they got out? But who knows? Hey, Potato. You're now forever Potato. All right, so here's some quotes from these dickheads. Let's read through this. I'm going to put him down here. I'm going to go away and then you guys can look at him. You're welcome. Okay, so let's read through because this is an interview with Ina and David. What do you cover? Who's the audience? I'm going to role play. I didn't know this was going to happen, so I don't have a partner in a role play. Let me get in. Character. What do you cover? Who's the audience? We cover industry news. So what I do is I follow what's happening and how it impacts sellers. People would write to us and they say, hey, I'm having a problem with Amazon or I'm having a problem with eBay. Well, let's put up a section where we can just be a conduit. That's all we ever wanted to be. A conduit for sellers to tell their problems, tell their issues, share information, and give them a voice. Let's see. So that's what they did with their business there, their newsletter. Okay, so here is Sharon Alfonsi. You were afraid for her life. I was terrified I was going to lose her. Police at first thought it might be a small town prank. David installed more security cameras at their home. Ina says, when it would get dark out at night, that's when I would be really terrified. And then Sharon says, you started sleeping in separate rooms at one point. David, what we wanted to do was make sure if someone did break in, that at least one of us could call the police or escape. What the fuck? Look at this is my algorithm, guys. Help me. Do you guys get this weird shit too? This is because I was talking about those animals, damn it, and K-bars, and knives and shit. Okay, so here's where we get to the meat and potatoes. 7 people who worked for eBay's safety and security unit, including 2 former cops, a former nanny. They all pled guilty to stalking or cyber stalking. Senior Security Director Jim Baugh was sentenced to 5 years. Veronica Z, That bitch who didn't show up for the cops only got a year of home confinement and probation. But to date, eBay has not been charged with any crimes. The company said in a statement to 60 Minutes, the conduct of the former employees was wrong and it has fully cooperated with the government investigation. I don't understand how there can't be enough evidence to file criminal charges against the top execs when they were using eBay money to buy these things and they traveled across the country from California to Boston. Scott Watts, meat and potatoes. Okay, so here's where it gets weird. He said, I want to see ashes or whatever it takes. This is what the top guy told them. Shut them up. I want to see ashes, whatever it takes. And then their lawyer says, people say things like that all the time, especially senior people in companies. It's not the same as I am knowingly joining a criminal conspiracy to cyberstalk a couple in Natick. People use loose talk like that all the time. Yeah, okay. Okay. This is their lawyers that are representing them. This is Rosemary, Jaleese McDonough and Rosemary Scapicchio. I think this Rosemary, I've seen her. She's defended people that were innocent and got the guy, like, she exonerated him. I've seen her before. Guys, where have we seen her? She got someone off. Criminal defense lawyer. Who did she work with? And she's working to fight the ban to ban life without parole for 18 to 21-year-olds. I think if you wanted an attorney, you would want her on your side. Y'all remember her? What is her famous cases? Sean Drumgold? I don't know who that is. She defended somebody high profile and I can't remember. I don't know, but she's a badass. Anyways, I just remember I was very impressed by her. She was in a documentary for something. Let's see if I can figure it out. Sean Drumgold, 15. Oh, yes, this was a documentary. This guy spent 22 years in prison for a crime he didn't commit, and she got him out. I think it's Netflix. Sean Ellis. Netflix, Trial 4. You guys need to watch it. It's so good. So it's called Trial 4. He was wrongfully convicted of murder at 19 years old. He went through 4 trials. You guys got to check that out. And it was a witness who placed him at the crime scene. They identified the wrong person in the lineup. Stop it. Stop it. Hatrix. So that's who she is. And she is defending this. This is awesome because I think too, it's really good for the cyber crime. Because I don't think that's really taken seriously. One of the New York Central Park lawyers. Thank you, Amanda H. Yep. That too. Oh, look at this. Here's Rosemary. If you're in the C-suite, it's your job to know what your employees are doing. How did you sit back and say you didn't know, especially when good things were happening and you know, the share prices were increasing. They all, you know, patting themselves on the back. We did that. We did that. But then when something like this happens, they turn around and say, we had no idea. We had no idea this was happening. And then the host says, we've seen these text messages from Weinig and Weimer. I was under the impression they turned over all their messages. That didn't happen. Rosemary says, no, Weimer deleted his text messages. There was a notice that went out to everyone to say there's this criminal investigation. Preserve the evidence. Weimer immediately deletes everything. That's obstruction of justice. If I did that, I'd be sitting in a jail cell somewhere now. Dude, I got to watch her say this. Is this in a video up here? I love this lady. Rosemary. Let's see. Rosemary. Oops. What's her name? Son of a gun. It's a good thing you don't have to know anything to really find videos. Okay, is this her? Three, two, one.
6 ex-eBay employees have been charged over a systematic campaign to harass a couple
We know that. This is
They were
not
having a yard-
what I want to hear. I was hoping I could find her interview. Yeah, I just don't.
Launched the e-commerce revolution when it was founded.
Moderate to severe eczema.
I just don't want to get copyrighted for this. God, ads everywhere. They just throw them around like we just don't care.
It's John Wayne Bobbitt's penis.
Wake up, guys.
Wake up.
I don't even know if this commercial's ever going to end. There's no end in sight. That ice cream cone looks damn good too, doesn't it? All right, this is redonkulous. Big pharma and their big ads that you can't skip or anything. And I'm so impatient.
Companies, and they needed to know.
Tell me what happened when you opened your email on the morning of August 8th.
We already watched that.
Police officer took the report. He
Not far from eBay headquarters.
Yeah, they're less than 8 miles.
Investigators say Boss set up a meeting with his security staff at eBay's California headquarters, posted a map of Natick on the wall, and then dispatched a team to Boston. 7 people who worked for eBay's safety and security.
Look at these assholes. David Harville, Stephanie Stockwell, Brian Gilbert, cop, Jim Ball, Veronica Z, Philip Cook, cop, and Stephanie Poop.
Unit, including 2 former cops and a former nanny, all pled guilty to stalking or cyberstalking charges. Senior Security Director Jim Baugh was sentenced to 5 years in prison. Veronica Zay was sentenced to a year of home confinement and probation.
She looks like she's wearing an ass on her chin. Holy shit.
But to date, eBay has not been charged with any crimes. The company said in a statement to 60 Minutes,
Especially senior people in companies.
eBay
Want to say there's this criminal investigation, preserve the evidence. Weimer immediately deletes everything. That's obstruction of justice. If I did that, I'd be sitting in a jail cell somewhere right now.
The current U.S. attorney has said the investigation into eBay is
I love her. I would definitely want her on my side.
ongoing. Steve Weimer was fired for cause by eBay.
Look at that idiot. What a douche.
And now runs the Boys and Girls Clubs of Silicon Valley.
Ew. He left eBay and now he runs the Boys and Girls Clubs.
Fucking fuzzy slippers and lip gloss.
He has said his texts were mischaracterized and that he learned of the employee's conduct only after the fact. The former CEO, Devin Wenig, said in a statement to 60 Minutes that he was appalled at what happened, and had he been aware of it at the time, he would have stopped it.
And look at him. I mean, these are executives. Who are these people? See, this is what's happening with these people creating these online things like eBay, and I don't know. That is just, I don't know, man. He don't look right. He don't look right. I see you in chat.
What?
Wenig resigned from eBay in September of 2019 with the 57.
What kind of shirt is that? First of all, like, what is he wearing? These people are weird.
$1 million exit package.
Why is he wearing arrows with snakes on stage? Like, that is fucking weird. This is the shit that I never paid attention to, and I see it and I'm like, what?
What?
He called it psychological warfare.
It felt like corporate terrorism because we were terrorized, and it was very calculated. It was very vicious.
Why would senior management at eBay, the popular Silicon Valley e-commerce giant, want to, quote, terrorize a couple from a tiny town in Massachusetts who ran a website out of their home?
That is so weird. Isn't that weird, you guys? Like, what is wrong with these people? I don't know, y'all. I thought it was a crazy ass story. And you know me, I just had to share it with you. But I do love that lawyer. Just promise me, if I ever need a lawyer, y'all will get her from me. The Silicon Valley Bank just busted. Yeah, there's some shit going down there, huh? There's got to be more to this story. I mean, what's the one guy's name that got 5 years? Let's see if he's still in there. James Baugh. I mean, how come we don't see his mugshots? I would love for them to put these idiots on blast. Department of Justice. Oh, they were just sentenced. They were just sentenced September 29th of 2022. He was given 57 months and 2 years of supervised release and $40,000 fines. David Harville, 50 of Vegas, was sentenced to 2 years and 2 years of supervised release. So they're both probably still in there. I thought they got sentenced a while ago. And look at, between approximately August 5th and 2019 and September 6th of 2019, Harville, Baugh, and their co-conspirators at eBay agreed to engage in a harassment campaign. Wow. I can't believe they actually traveled there. Now that is scary because there's unlimited funds, right? After learning of the police's investigation, Harville and Baugh deleted digital evidence. Additionally, Baugh made false statements to police and internal investigators and falsified records intended to throw police off the trail. They should never get out. Wow. What a bunch of creeps. But if you ever go to this Department of Justice website, there's a lot of bad people. Founder of purported cryptocurrency company sentenced to more than 8 years for multi-million-dollar fraud scheme. And this is all just in Boston. Let's see what's going down in Florida. Oh, and then we have to check the Latah County Jail before we go to. Let's see if we've got anything going on in the Middle District here. Oh, I don't know how to get to it, but let's go to Latah. Let's go to the Latah jail roster and see who we've got in there before we conclude today's live. Let's get rid of these schmucks. Hello, I'm back. All righty. This is the conclusion of our live. Is checking out. Don't they have real jobs? I guess not. Couple of losers. Checking out the Latah County Jail where Brian Christopher Kohberger is currently held. We still have Andy Apple. He's being held on drug court and with no end in sight, no bond. This girl, drugs, Elena Armstrong, she's been there. The Dewey and Earl Campbell, the brothers, whatever they are, still sitting pretty. Joseph Gerald Case, looks like he's held for another agency. This is a new one. I haven't seen her before. Jessica Louise Glindeman. She has no bond, but I don't really know what's going on with her. Nicholas Jean Harris is still sitting there. And so is Ricky High Eagle. Zachary, this is new, 316. Zachary Vernon Illy. Zachary Illy is a newer inmate. Jabora Rihanna, she's been there. She's held for something else, some domestic. Brian Christopher Kohberger surprisingly looks normal when you look at all these guys. This guy's new. William Wesley Lynn, an out-of-county warrant. And then this guy has got nothing next to his name, but he was picked up on the 22nd, a week ago. Lamar Jaheen McCutcheon. He's got nothing there. I don't know what that means. This guy was here. Devin Paris. Shelly Shaw is still sitting there. Jessie Shell is trying to figure out why she's there. And Ren David Stockton is still sitting there with nothing by his name. This guy, Jonathan Luke Triffitt, is scary with some bushy eyebrows. And then this guy's new. I haven't seen him. David Anthony Tyner, drugs. And Logan Timothy Waddle. Out of county warrant, and he violated a protection order. So we have 20 people in the Latah County Jail on Monday, March 27th. That is your Latah County update. I know I miss Harry Styles as well, but we did get a quote from him in an article. All right, guys. That concludes our news for today. I will see you guys tomorrow. In the meantime, stay safe out there. It is a crazy world, but we've got each other and we're here on the 411. So I will see you next time. Everybody stay safe and be well. Dance it out. J is for justice style.
I don't flashed and said, wow, pretty far out. I thought it was pretty far out.
I ain't got time, I ain't got time, I ain't got time for that. Staying up late, sleeping all day, dreaming about Cadillacs. Buying new shoes, hanging by the pool, sipping on Coke and Jack. Calling my phone when you feel alone, but I'll never call you back. I ain't got time.
Shell, put exclamation point bye.
Not bad in England, huh?
Bye, guys.